are making a lot of noise at AT&T Stadium.
Anything that moves between these lines, gotta get dealt with.
10, 5, and he streaks in. Deep to the post to Lamb. At the 5, to the goal line.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
You can't generate explosives. You can't run the ball. It is Devontae Smith galloping to the end zone for the touchdown. Second of the day.
No Jalen Hurts, no problem for the Philadelphia Eagles as they take down the Cowboys 41-7, the final score in the penultimate week of the NFL regular season. The Cowboys entered this matchup winning 4 of their last 5 games, going into a road matchup with their NFC East rival, and a little bit of confidence that didn't last very long as Philadelphia puts up 34 unanswered after the Cowboys tied things at 7 at the end of the first quarter. Welcome into Cowboys Game Night. I'm your host, Kyle Yeomans. Let's take a look at the highlights of how this one unfolded. Saquon Barkley on pace for 2,000 yards, trying to break Eric Dickerson's all-time single-season rushing record. Cowboys on their opening drive did not go very far. 3rd and 3 from the Philly 35. It's C.J. Gardner-Johnson with the interception. He returns it 69 yards to the house, and it's Philadelphia on the board early, only the 2nd interception for Cooper Rush this season. Dallas needed a response, and they did just that. 12-play drive, settling into the red zone. Jaylen Tolbert goes up to get it over the top of the reigning first-round draft pick, Quinyon Mitchell on the outside. South Alabama beats Toledo on this occasion for 6, all tied up at 7 at the end of 1. Philadelphia was being led by Kenny Pickett at quarterback. He found that passing attack midway through the second. This one to Devontae Smith as he drags his feet into the end zone for 6. Dallas needed to try and answer. They did so by moving the ball, getting close to Philadelphia territory, but Jake Ferguson loses possession. The fumble picked up by Jordan Davis on the loose ball, and the second turnover of the game also belongs to Philadelphia. Next drive, after a Philadelphia field goal, chance for Cooper Rush in the offense to settle down. Not going to happen here either. With under a minute remaining in the second quarter, C.J. Gardner-Johnson has his 2nd interception of the day, and this would leave plenty of time, just over 36 seconds with 2 timeouts left for Philadelphia to go down the field with Kenny Pickett finding Devontae Smith. He gets past Andrew Booth, tripped up at the 1-yard line, but it would lead to a Philadelphia touchdown. They led 24-7 at the break. The third started the same way. The second ended. Philadelphia putting up a field goal and a touchdown to take a 34-7 lead. And then we fast forward to the fourth quarter. Now Tanner McKee at quarterback after Kenny Pickett left with a rib injury. He finds Devontae Smith. So not only the 2nd-string quarterback of Pickett, but the 3rd-string quarterback of Tanner McKee having success against Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. Philadelphia outscores Dallas this season 75-13 over 2 games. It was 34-6 back in Week 10, 41-7 the final here in Week 17. Here are the final stats brought to you by Miller Lite as we welcome in Isaiah Stanback, Emmy Award winner, Super Bowl champion. And today you get the pleasure of breaking down a 41-7 loss for the Cowboys.
Thank you.
Whole lot to break down in this one.
Yeah, there's a lot to break down. It just wasn't a good game. I mean, these guys started out well, honestly, being able to go out there and compete and keep the game close. Obviously, it was a pick 6. That was not a good start, but you were able to recover from that. You were able to go out there and get a touchdown, obviously, Jaylen Tolbert, and then the turnover started, right? Once you have that pick 6, and then you have the turnover, 2 turnovers with 6 minutes left, from 6 minutes left in the first half all the way down to halftime, you gave up a couple scores. From that point on, it was over. The steamroll had begun.
And that's the thing is it didn't matter who was at quarterback. We talked about this extensively in pregame shows and shows throughout the week and leading into all of our content on DallasCowboys.com. Philadelphia is the number 1 offense in terms of total yardage, number 1 defense in terms of yardage allowed. You knew it was going to be a challenge even without Jalen Hurts, and they proved that today.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't. It's not a one-trick pony with the Philadelphia Eagles. These guys not only have a great passing attack, as we saw today, no matter if 1st, 2nd, or 3rd-string quarterbacks, it really didn't matter, but their running game, right? You talk about Saquon Barkley. These guys are stout. They have the offensive line. They're good in the trenches on both sides of the ball. It's a very tough outfit, and then when you go out there and you give up 4-0 on the turnover margin, you stand no chance.
That's really what happened for the Dallas Cowboys. Turnover margin, protection, running attack, all sorts of things going in the opposite direction. We're going to break down a little bit of that when we come back on Cowboys Game Night. Isaiah goes to the telestrator. We're going to talk about that pick six from C.J. Gardner-Johnson. What happened on this play and how did it go so poorly for Dallas?
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
3rd and 3. Blitz coming. Picked up. Rush gets intercepted. Breaking in front of that is C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And a house call. Pick six to open the day.
It doesn't happen very often. Cooper Rush making a significant mistake like that. A lot of times he takes care of the football. He manages the game. He's got a flow on offense. He came into this one over the last 5 games having 9 touchdowns, just 1 interception. This one was a big one, though, as it led to a pick six. C.J. Gardner-Johnson doing his best impression of what C.J. Gardner-Johnson does.
Yes, beginning of the game, you look at the score. The score is 0-0.
Everything's good,
Everything's
right?
good, right? Oh, not so much. Let's go ahead and take it to the film real quick and help you guys to understand exactly what Cooper Rush did not see and what he will see when he goes back and looks at the all 22. As soon as you come up to the line of scrimmage, you have to understand exactly where is the leverage of everybody. Well, down here, you really can't see, but there's a man directly over the man down here. You have somebody that's sitting outside of Brandon Cooks, right? So you have to say, okay, well, what is he trying to do, right? Then you also have a man that's going to be directly over Mr. Jake Ferguson here, and at the top of your screen, you have man-to-man as well, okay? So you have a free safety all the way back here. So where is the robber? Where's the guy that you have to be aware of? Okay, well, that's the man right there. So as we see this thing play out, you guys are going to see boom, 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 and pause it right there. Bam. Everybody steps up, and everybody has their man. Man up, okay? Man up, man up. At the top of the screen is going to be man up, right? And then at the bottom of your screen, you guys are going to see it here. Man as well, okay? This man is now going to take Ferguson. Now, with the man that you do not see, or at least that Cooper Rush did not see, as he's looking through right here, he wants to get the ball straight over here to who? Right here. He wants to get the ball to Brandon Cooks. And usually it's going to be open because Jake Ferguson's going to run his slant and his guy's going to follow him, right? His guy's going to go there. And then he's going to run his slant and then there's not going to be nobody there. However, this robber player is sitting there literally waiting and waiting on this slant route. He knows it's coming. Whoopsies. He takes it right there. That is easy money, easy pickings. It's hard as a quarterback to see absolutely everything. But when you know what the coverage is, you know there's a robber player there, you have to make the right decision and go somewhere else.
How tough is that to see from a post or a pre-snap recognition? Like you said, can't see everything, but it's pretty normal to see man coverage with a robber.
Yeah, it shouldn't be difficult to see that robber player there. There's a linebacker there, there's a safety there. One of those two guys in man-to-man coverage is going to take your tight end.
Yes.
Once your tight end has been declared by the linebacker, you now know that robber is sitting there. He has 0 responsibilities outside of sitting and taking up that space. If you're trying to stay on your guy, Cooks, for so long that you just say, I'm going to determine to throw that slant route, he's literally sitting there and he's waiting on the gift. Christmas is over, but it was still came. His gift was a little bit late there, and he was able to get the turnover.
And it helped wrap up what was the
literally
early parts of the game. Now, Dallas did rebound. They put up a touchdown after that, but that was just one of the 4 turnovers that really came back to bite the Cowboys and, of course, turned into points immediately in that sense. When we come back on Cowboys Game Night, the offense wasn't the only one that had their fair share of struggles. The defense as well, whether it was the weapons outside or slowing down Saquon Barkley, who eclipsed 2,000 yards in this one.
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Calcaterra's in the backfield with it. McKee floating for the end zone. He's got an NFL touchdown to A.J. Brown.
Didn't matter if it was Kenny Pickett or if it was Tanner McKee. His first career NFL touchdown to A.J. Brown continued the onslaught in the third quarter as Philadelphia takes down Dallas 41-7. Welcome back into Cowboys Game Night alongside Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Isaiah, the defense struggled to slow down the weapons, and that's the thing. Without Jalen Hurts, it didn't matter who was at quarterback because you had a guy named Saquon Barkley in the backfield. You had A.J. Brown go for 100 yards through the air. It was a tough day for the Dallas defense. What went wrong in Philadelphia?
I mean, they have weapons. I mean, like you said, it doesn't matter who's at the quarterback position. When you have a Devontae Smith that can take the thing over the top for 120 yards off of 6 receptions, when you still have to respect A.J. Brown in there as well, and then when you have the ability to turn around with that offensive line and hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley 31 times for 167 yards, it's very difficult to stop. Yeah. We knew this was going to be a tall order, especially with their running attack. It's the reason why they're ranked at the top in the NFL. It's not just against you.
And that's the thing is passing game, running game, you've seen a step in the right direction. Of course, and Greg Olsen talked about this on the TV broadcast side of things, but the revolving door at cornerback has not been easy for Mike Zimmer to combat, but they've made strides. Pass rush was basically non-existent today. Give credit to the Philadelphia offensive line. This just seemed like a game, and a second time this season, that Philadelphia was better. Yeah, plain and simple.
Yeah, it is. And right now they have a better. They have better personnel.
Sure.
Right now, especially when you don't have all of your personnel at your disposal. So when you have a lot of guys that are on IR, you're missing all your number one guys. You think about it. You're missing D-Law. You're missing Trayvon Diggs. Right. You're missing all these guys that make contributions on the defense side of the ball. I'm not even going to talk about our offensive side of the ball that's been ravaged. It's very difficult, and these guys have all their guns for the most part outside of Jalen Hurts. They're a tough outfit. They're a tough team. They're well coached, great offensive coordinators, great defensive coordinators. They're a good team, and it's okay to say that this is a good team right now, and we're having a down year.
That's the thing, is it is a down year. You're now officially going to finish 2024 with a losing record. And you got one more game to try and build some momentum going into that final week of the regular season against the Washington Commanders. When we come back on Cowboys Game Night, Isaiah's going to break down one of the bright spots, and that's been Jaylen Tolbert in the red zone. Still continuing to rack up these touchdown grabs. This time he does it on a former first-round pick right after this.
To watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Rush, quick throw. It's Tolbert. It's a touchdown. With that broken finger, Jaylen Tolbert, a touchdown for the second week in a row.
It hasn't been the best year for receivers in a Cowboys uniform outside of C.D. Lamb. But one of the bright spots is the fact that Jaylen Tolbert continues to catch touchdown passes. He's now up to 7 on the NFL season as we welcome you back into Cowboys Game Night. 7 touchdowns is nothing to sneeze at. And, of course, a guy who you spent the top 100 pick on. You wanted him to take a step in the right direction going into year number 3. What happened on this play? How did he get open, and how did he out-physical a first-round pick in Quinyon Mitchell?
Well, he doesn't care what the other pick is. He said, you're another man, and it's man-to-man. That's all I need to know. So we're going to take it over here to the boards for you guys to understand exactly what Cooper Rush saw at the line of scrimmage and exactly why Jaylen Tolbert was able to be locked up man-to-man. Now, right off the back, okay, let's look at the top receivers here. As we look at the top receivers, we saw man-to-man coverage once again. Okay, you want to keep playing man-to-man? Perfect, okay? We have our tight end in a nice little short motion here, little return motion, which isolates who? It isolates Mr. Jaylen Tolbert again on this side. So we can literally draw a line from the outside defender inside the box. And now you see Jaylen Tolbert sitting here at the top of the numbers, okay? He's right here at the top of the numbers, which means he has the entire corner to work with. He has all this space right here, okay? Right here in the Bermuda Triangle, he can do whatever he wants to do down here. Boom, bow, bow, bow. Okay, so now as Cooper Rush, you have the ability now to drop the ball right over here at any point as long as on the outside shoulder. So as a receiver, what do you want to do? I want to come off the line of scrimmage. I want to give him a little McNasty, and then I'm going to take it out here and try to hold him on my inside shoulder while the quarterback does his due by dropping it over my shoulder. Again, you see the little shimmy at the top. Okay, again, once he gets that defensive back to his inside, pass it right there. Now I have what? I have literally all this space, okay? Cooper Rush could have dropped the ball anywhere he wanted to in this bucket, but he decides to go with a little bit of a back shoulder. Now I keep him on my inside. I go up, I high point the ball, pause it right there. My feet are off the ground, okay? My feet are off the ground. My arms are fully extended. I am reaching up and stretching myself out as much as possible. You talking about the broken finger, you heard. He brought it down to his chest, was able to get everything in bounds. No issues there. Let's take a look at it from another angle. We talked about that inside leverage. He is sitting inside. So right now, Jaylen Tolbert is already winning, okay? Jaylen Tolbert's body is outside this line. So as I draw this line right here, that's Jaylen Tolbert's body over here. This is a defensive back's body on this inside right here. So all he has to do is literally hold the fort. I'm gonna run my route and try to keep you there. Once I keep you there, now, okay, I have the entire corner of the, boom, there goes the set. Bow, pause it right there. I have now set you. By setting you, I keep you inside. Now I literally can do whatever I want over here. As long as you stay inside, as long as my quarterback puts the ball towards the sideline, it's either gonna be a touchdown or incompletion. That's what we want. I go up, I high point it, boop, thank you very much. I bring it down, secure the catch. That is 6 points, and that's what you want to see more of, and that's why Jaylen Tolbert is getting so many touchdowns this year.
Now, 7 touchdowns, over 500 yards, but there hasn't been that real big step in the right direction. Production, sure, he's had production. Do you need any more convincing that Jaylen Tolbert is your wide receiver two from this point forward? Of course, Brandon Cooks is an unrestricted free agent.
Correct.
You get CeeDee Lamb as wide receiver one for the foreseeable future. Thank goodness for that.
Correct.
But where does Jaylen Tolbert fit into this picture, or should you go and add at the receiver position?
You definitely need to still add, but if you can get the same jump that Jaylen Tolbert had from last year to this year, if you can reproduce that and get it again next year, you don't know what you might run into in terms of Jaylen Tolbert and the contributions he can make. If he made 500 yards and 7 touchdowns this year, barring one game, then what can he produce for you if he makes, again, those same strides? There are aspects of his game that he has to continue to get better with. He has to continue to get better with his consistent effort, his run blocking, his clear out routes, his willingness to do all the things outside of catching the ball that are going to assist in your teammates. Those are aspects that he has to improve on, watch film, get the coaching, and come back a better player next year.
That's the detail-oriented side that Jaylen Tolbert's going to need to take that step to the next level. And remember, much of that production has come without Dak Prescott at quarterback. A lot of it has been with Cooper Rush at quarterback. So still something to look forward to looking into the future. Jaylen Tolbert, whether or not he's a big part of that wide receiver future, still yet to be seen. And, of course, you've got a draft and a free agent period to try and make some moves at the wide receiver position. But when we come back, Isaiah Stanback's learning lessons. What did the Cowboys learn in this game, and how could they attack the final week of the regular season in a much better light after a disappointing day in Philadelphia?
Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
Against pressure, you're just not going to hold up in the secondary. Cowboys playing from behind now. Rush on the roll as Tolbert open downfield, checks it down. The ball comes out. I think Dallas was able to recover that.
The fumbles were a big problem. Dallas -4 in the turnover margin as we wrap things up on Cowboys Game Night. A 41-7 win for Philadelphia. Cowboys fall to 7-9. Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Isaiah, give us your learning lessons. What can the Cowboys learn from this loss, and then how do they attack the final week?
Yeah, well, protect the ball, and then the other thing is resist the urge to just go out there and check the box and just go out there and let the season just kind of run out, right? You're going to have an urge. You're going to have an urge to look at your watch and say how much playing time is left. When you have an urge to count your check, don't be that guy. Go out there, finish strong, and make sure that your resume is strong.
You got a chance to sweep a Washington team that's led by a former coach of yours. You beat them on the road. Now they come to your stadium at AT&T Stadium. Still don't know whether it'll be a Saturday or a Sunday matchup, waiting on the NFL to release the final week schedule going into Week 18. But either way, you know Dan Quinn and the Commanders are coming, and they're looking for some revenge, trying to put you in the double-digit loss category this year. For Isaiah Stanback and our entire Dallas Cowboys crew, thanks for joining us on Cowboys Game Night. We'll see you next week.